A dry circuit greets the teams here at the Hungaroring as we get ready for the KTM Crossbow Battle. Race 2 of the weekend. 25 minutes are ahead of us. Yesterday's race was on a damp but drying circuit, and it was a lively race won by Reinhard Koffler, who misses today's race because it's a shared entry that he has with Laura Kramer. She will line up on the second row of the grid. It is Thomas Vestarp on pole. 3 categories. We have GT4, we have Elite, and we have the Rookie class. The Elite title is still up for grabs. We have a GT4 champion, Thomas Vestarp. Yesterday, the Rookie champion was crowned as Marcel Markovic. And Bob Bow, who leads the Elite class, really just has to finish because his opposition, Georg Silbermeier, must win the class and effectively Bob Bow not score for him to have any chance whatsoever of taking the title. So it's an uphill battle for him. Bob Bow just needs to bank the points in the 25 minutes that are ahead of us. David Addison and Manfred Wolf trackside as we look down on the grid, which has Thomas Vestarp on pole position based on the times set in the qualifying session this morning. Manfred, we had a good race yesterday, more of the same we expect today, but first let's just get the background of the cars out of the way. 3 classes, different power, different types of cars as well.
Exactly. Hello from my side. Pleasure to be here with you. Well, we've got, as you mentioned, 3 different classes. The class to start with is the Rookies Challenge. It's 300 horsepower, 2-liter TFSI engine from Audi and around 800 kilograms dry weight. And then we have the Elite class cars, which have a tuned engine, same look, more or less the same weight, but 360 horsepower. And the closed cars that you see racing are the GT4 cars that also have an international homologation for racing around the world in GT4 categories.
And there is one of those GT4 cars. That's Laura Kramer, who races for KTM in the GT4 European Series. She has also raced in this championship this year and been a race winner, but starting on the second row of the grid. It's going to be fascinating to see her pace relative to Thomas Vestarp, the GT4 champion this year, who will start on pole position.
Exactly. Thomas was really quick today in the qualifying. Laura also very good, and she's preparing at the moment for the next GT4 Germany race, where she will be starting together with Reinhard Koffler on Hungaroring.
As part of the ADAC's GT4 championship, so the two of them sharing the car this weekend. Yesterday's race won by, in dominant fashion, Reinhard Koffler. Bob Bow, who you saw a moment ago on the grid, just to make the point, pseudonymed driver. He works in the building and construction industry. Bob Bow, Bob the Builder, effectively. And you'll see the little mascot on the grid as well as you look there at the
Georg Silbermeier.
Open top car, yes, that's from the Elite class. Georg Silbermeier, 5 times a winner within the class, and yet doesn't look as though he's going to be the champion.
No, it seems like Bob Bow will do it because there's only one chance for Georg to win the title is when Bob Bow fails to reach the finish line and Georg wins. So, but that's very unlikely.
Sure.
Regarding yesterday's race, we saw Bob Bow taking a dominant pole position, and then in race he had no chance. And I can tell you what we didn't know yesterday. He had the wrong tires.
Ah, okay.
Most of them started with slick tires on a partly damp circuit. Bob Bow went for the rain tires, and in the end the tire broke away completely, so he had no chance to hold his positions.
Okay. Let's just have a quick look up the grid, because on the front row, Thomas Vestarp and Josef Koller. Bob Bow shares row 2 with Laura Kramer. Georg Silbermeier in the white car. Uwe Schmidt, vastly experienced driver. He sold that car. He's looking after it. He will start 6th on the grid. Great drive by him yesterday to be 5th overall. Then Tassilo von Bayern, of a fine racing family, on the 4th row with Under Erdem alongside the Turkish driver that we see racing in the GT4 European Series. Next on the grid comes Mika Kallio, motorbike racer, and experienced driver and this weekend's event promoter, Csaba Balta, alongside. The new rookie champion comes next, Marcel Markovic, and it is Janos Vida alongside. Next on the grid, Jan Ries and Leon Vasserteurer lining up alongside him, 14th after qualifying this morning. Starting 15th on the grid, Matthias Peltzmann, who has been a race winner within the rookie class this year, and Daniel Drexel lines up alongside him. On the next row, you've got 97, driven by Niklas Stump, who had a spin yesterday, and Bart Semenchuk, number 99, lines up alongside him. Then, all the way from Q8, Nasser Al-Ali lines up alongside Clemens Drexel. The back row of the grid should have been Thomas Kokol and Holger Baumgartner, who missed yesterday's race, missed qualifying because of a turbo issue. And sadly, Manfred, the gap is there on the grid again.
Yeah, he's not here. I met him in the paddock before, and he said, I'm afraid we won't get it done in time, and it seems like it really happened. So very sad end to the season for Holger.
Yeah.
He was champion last year, so that's not the way he wanted to end the season, I'm sure. One word to Mika Kallio, our motorbike rider, did very, very well on 4 wheels. He took actually the pole position in the rookies class today.
That's right, indeed. In only his what's about to be second ever car race, which is quite extraordinary. So he rode for KTM, didn't he, in his motorbike career with great success?
And he still does. He's one of the test and development drivers for the MotoGP project.
Okay.
So we are very happy to have him here, and that he has in his tight time schedule that he had time to go and race on 4 wheels.
Is this the start of a new career for him, or is it just
I
a
hope so.
one-off?
I told him yesterday, you know, you've been on the podium now. If you go to the podium also on Sunday, so today, you have to do the whole season next year. And he said, oh, that's not the worst thing that should happen to me. So I think he has a lot of fun, and he really would love to come back. Let's see how it works out next year.
It'd be great to see him. And what's fascinating also is that, yes, it's his first races. It's a level playing field, as you would say, because this is the first time the championship has been to the Hungaroring. So many of the drivers racing here for the first time as well. Therefore, he knows where to place his ability against the other drivers.
Exactly. I think when you got such an experienced rider, even if he does it mainly on 2 wheels, then he can adapt quite quickly, and he has a feeling for the line, he has a feeling for where to brake, where to place the car, so that you can really see that he's able to be very, very quick on point, and that's impressive.
So the man on pole position, Thomas Vestarp, a word about the GT4 champion of the year. He's taken 3 wins, 38 years of age, and you can trace his origins in single-seater racing, in fact. Nearly 2 decades ago in Formula Koenig, he was the champion. He drove in Formula Renault Euro Cup, had a few seasons away, and has come back into racing in KTMs with great success. Josef Koller lining up alongside him. He's in the elite class, so pole positions, a pair of them, GT4 alongside elite. Josef Koller, a double winner this season, and a very good pedigree. Before coming into KTMs 2 years ago, he was a front runner in the European Radical series, a very different type of sports car.
Yeah, exactly. He switched to the KTMs. We've got a very strong importer in Czech Republic. RTR Projects is a team that are also doing a lot of races in the Quantic 24-hour series.
Yeah.
And he used to race with them, and now he's doing his own thing within his own team, and he's a regular and very quick, as you can see in the grid.
So there is Josef Koller in the red car. I like the fact you've got the numbers on the front as well, which makes identification a lot more straightforward as they now turn up through turn 13, round the back of the paddock. There, numbers 80s and 90s are the rookies. Rookie suggests that these are all novice drivers. Not strictly speaking the case. Many of them, like Csaba Walter as an example, have raced other things, but they are new to the KTM. So you have got some people fresh out of karting, some like Mika Kallio, who've never raced cars before, others who've raced other things, but are new to the KTM crossbow battle. And race 2 is about to get underway here at the Hungaroring as the lights on the gantry will go out now. It is blast off. A good getaway by Josef Koller, in fact, on the outside line. He gets his nose in front on the way down towards turn 1. Also looking to try to gain ground on the inside. Look, you've got 45 Bob Bow, who tries to outbrake, but Vestarp in the GT4 car, very good on the brakes. He takes over the race lead. One runs out way, way wide. Up the curb goes Tassilo von Bayern on the inside line. They've all made it safely round turn 1, but a good move back into the race lead. Thomas Vestarp is ahead of Josef Koller as they hit turn 2 for the first time, and one there squeezed up onto the curb. A frantic first couple of corners.
Absolutely, but in the end, clean. Thankfully, no touching, no crashes. The one that went wide in the first corner was Csaba Walter. He had really a very good start, and he was able to take some places also from elite drivers, but he couldn't make it stick in the first corner and went wide.
So there, out of turn 4, you see some using lots of curb, others being a little bit more circumspect. There is Lara Krajmer going a little bit wide, coming out of turn 5, under attack. In fact, she's dropped places relative to where she was on the grid as they come now through the chicane for the first time. Thomas Vestarp in the GT4 car, you can expect to get away as under Erdem there is way up the curb. And I noticed Uwe Schmidt in the green elite class car has dropped quite a long way back from his grid position, but now goes ahead of Bob Bow, who's got a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem, and I'm not sure after the chicane, maybe there was a touch because there were 3 wide after the chicane, and it looks like maybe one of the rookies drivers touched Bob Bow.
So Bob Bow just needs to finish to win the championship, and he will be mindful of that trying to keep out of trouble, but he's not yet gone through the shot. So Bob Bau's car very slow.
He's got a problem, and that's really dramatic in terms of the championship.
Exactly. So now attention will switch to Georg Silbermeier, number 7. He's got to win the class, so in the 23 minutes that remain, he's got work to do. But Bob Bau, I fear, is heading for the pit lane. Bob the Builder, can he fix it? Can he repair this and get back into the race? At the moment, it's looking pretty bleak. It's a slow lap round to the pit lane. At the end of lap 1, then, of the championship finale, Thomas Verstappen leads. Second is Josef Koller, and Georg Silbermeier is up into 3rd place overall. That now puts him up into 2nd in the elite class. He could yet win the championship.
Absolutely, and nobody would have thought that this might happen, but as it's very close racing and tight racing in the first lap, something like this can always happen. So let's see if he's coming to the pit lane.
I think he's gone through Bob Bau, but it looked as though there might have been a bit of smoke coming from the rear of the car. He's behind this battle pack going down through turn 2 now. So Bob Bau is circulating. I think he's mindful that if he just gets to the end, then he could still take the title. But if the car has a serious problem, that may not be quite as straightforward as he would hope.
Yeah, then even if it's only a 25-minute race, but when you have a serious issue on the car, 25 minutes can be really long.
Absolutely.
And there we watch Tassilo von Bayern struggling. He did a very, very good race yesterday. He had also a very good pit position, but he lost lots of places, and he's fighting with the Rookies Challenge drivers at the moment.
Exactly right. 13th at the end of lap 1 and has lost more ground. Somebody skipped the chicane there and a hand gesture to say, "Oi, what are you doing?"
And who had also a very bad start is Mika Kallio. A really, really bad first lap. Niklas Stump had a very good one. He gained a lot of places. And in the Rookies Challenge, P5 and P6 overall for the 2 Hungarian drivers. So it seems they are using all their track knowledge at the moment.
Those drivers being Csaba Balta, and then behind him, Janos Vida, who's a former VLN racer. Bob Bau was 19th when he came over the line at the end of the opening lap. In number 86 there, you've got Daniel Drexel. Race leaders, though, working their way up towards the completion of lap number 2 now. Then they're coming through turn 14. Now there is Bob Bau. Where is he in the overall standings? He's still
just had a look, he's 19th overall.
Yeah, at the end of lap 1. Still circulating as now. Silbermeier, number 7, goes for the class lead on the inside of Koller. Can't do it going into turn 1, though. So Josef Koller fans him off, but Georg Silbermeier doing everything he can possibly do here, and that is to try to win the class, irrespective of what happens to Bob Bau.
Now he tries to go past the outside, but that doesn't work there. But maybe he can take a lot of speed through the next right-hander and place an attack before the 5th corner.
So Bob Bau is 19th, still circulating. Now, 19th overall, but you get points in your class. So his class position is far better than that, assuming the car is healthy enough to get him to the end. Up the inside goes Silbermeier, and he should get the move done, should he? Let's see. Is he going to be able to stay alongside on the way down to the chicane? No, he can't. Josef Koller fends him off, and now Kreimer and also Csaba Balta getting in on the act as well. The gaps are all closing up here. There's the leader. So going through his Vestart, but having a very good run at the moment is Koller, being able to keep at bay Silbermeier, and now he falls away from Koller because he's defending from Laura Kreimer.
And what's really impressive is the performance of Csaba Balta with the Rookies Challenge car, that he's alongside the Elite and the GT4 cars. It's really impressive.
Experienced driver, Csaba Balta, from the likes of the old FIA European GT3 Championship. He's raced in the Nürburgring 24 Hours and VLN, as well as national Hungarian events, but he's new to the car. Yes, he knows the circuit, but doesn't know the car terribly well, but he's going after the GT4 spec entry. Laura Kreimer did the fastest lap of the race, incidentally, last time around.
Exactly, but now it seems that Thomas Verstappen will put in the fastest lap.
Absolutely, there goes Bob Bau. Now, is there an element of this that he was just giving away places on the first lap to keep out of trouble, not get involved in a battle? If that were the case, you think, well, he might start from the pit lane behind everybody?
Yeah, maybe. That may be. When we look at the times now, he's doing a 2-minute 1.
Replay of the start.
Last time around.
Here from another angle look, and Thomas Verstappen seemed to have the advantage, but as they went over the line, Josef Koller got the drop on him, took the race lead, but look, with the better brakes, the ABS brake to the GT4 car, look from how far back Verstappen is able to come to go through and claim the lead.
And now you have to have a look what happened to Mika Kallio, because He had a clean start, but then it seems like to the second corner he must have lost all the places.
Another one speeding up is Under Erdem, because he is now doing absolute best in the sectors. Vestarp did indeed, as Manfred suggested, set the fastest lap last time around at the end of lap 3. There goes Csaba Walter, a long way clear now of János Vida in the rookies class. A 1-2 for the Hungarians, and through on the inside for third place goes Laura Kramer. Dive bombs Georg Silbermeier, who gives her racing room.
That was not the usual overtaking spot, but I think Laura had she didn't want to wait any longer, because she sees that at the front of the field Thomas Vestarp is trying to get away, and she has to act now, because otherwise she would have no chance to catch him again.
So through she has gone, and Laura Kramer then goes after Josef Koller, and in turn, of course, wants to have a go at Thomas Vestarp, who's looking for win number 4 of the season. And what better way to round out a year in which you've won a championship by another race win, and also at the moment the fastest lap of the race as well.
Absolutely. What I can see now from the pictures is that the car of Georg seems to be quite unstable. He's drifting a lot, and as it looks now, he can't attack Josef Koller.
So Silbermeier struggling with the setup a little, seemingly looking at the field pouring through. The other one that's a bit of a mystery is Uwe Schmitz, who started 6th and is down in 11th place. The race today, the opposite of yesterday, where he was gaining places all the way.
There we have him with number 11, and he's getting attacked by Matthias Peltzmann, who misses the braking point, runs wide, and now he will lose another place. Yeah, to Tassilo von Bayern, who is trying to make his way back to where he started the race.
And also the rookies champion Marcel Markovic goes ahead as well. So a costly error that for Peltzmann. Bob Bauer, by the way, has gained a place. There's the replay. Up the inside goes Peltzmann, and eventually he's able to slow the car down, but he's way, way out wide. 1, 2, 3 places given away.
And also not a very good beginning of the race for our newly crowned champion in the Rookies Challenge, Marcin Markovic. He lost some places. He's only on P13. That's not the place where he was throughout the season. But I think he's got no pressure anymore. He's champion, so he will take it easy today.
He'll have gained one of those places back from Peltzmann in that last moment at turn 1, but that's going to put him now 6th only in the class. As you see, Csaba Walter now hustling on behind Georg Silbermeier. Could Csaba Walter in the rookies get into the top 3 overall? He's got good pace, and he's really going for it, isn't he now?
Absolutely, but I think that will be really difficult, because in the end you're always missing a little bit of torque and straight line speed against the other cars, so that would be a really, really big surprise if he can reach the overall podium.
Over the timing line goes Thomas Vestarp then. The gap to Josef Koller is coming down. Koller has just done the fastest lap of the race, 1.2 seconds. 3rd is Kramer, 4th is Silbermeier, 5th is Csaba Walter. So he's got some work to do yet. They're side by side heading down to turn 1. Jan Ries, 95, goes ahead of János Vida. That's a change for 2nd in the rookies class.
Yeah, and Jan Ries is a very, very fast young driver from Austria. He comes from karting, and he has won several races this season already. He came back from being ill for quite a long time, being ill for a month, and he's still struggling with his fitness, but as you can see, he's already doing good again and on the attack.
Up through turn 4, they sweep. On the Erdem goes through. There is the Rookies Challenge battle to be 2nd in the class. An update on Bob Bauer, because he's still on target to win the elite category. He's 18th overall, so he's gained places, but most importantly, he is still circulating, and his lap times are improving as Uwe Schmidt loses another place there. That's Peltzmann going ahead of him, so Schmidt started the lap 11th. He's dropping like a stone at the moment. Schmidt keeping out of trouble, yes. He has sold this car, so he doesn't want to risk damaging it, but even so, it's a very odd race.
Yeah, it really is. And today it can't be the tires, because I'm 100% sure that everybody is on slick tires. So that can't make this big difference that we are seeing at the moment.
So down they come, 84 then having gained the position there. Matthias Peltzmann recovering after his moment at turn 1, 25-minute race. And we're almost at the halfway stage as you look there at 96, which is Leon Wasserteurer, 9th at the start of this lap. And there is the recovering Mika Kallio behind him. Now, you were trying to get him onto the podium for both races, Manfred, weren't you? He's only 5th in the Rookies Challenge. He's got some work to do.
I see. Maybe he doesn't want to do the whole season next year. I don't.
Your sales pitch is not working.
No, I hope that's not the case, but you never know. And Georg is attacking Laura again.
And this is for 3rd place overall. They're in different classes, GT4 versus Elite. But Silbermeyer makes a move out of turn 1. The outside line for turn 2, that's the inside line for turn 3. But Laura Krahammer goes back through on the inside and secures that 3rd place. Great battle this, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you can see the advantages of the GT4 car and the braking with the racing ABS, and the advantage through the corners with the lighter car of the Elite class.
And also the experience of Laura Krahammer, who has a spin.
Spin.
Throws it away at turn 4. And just avoids the barrier, I think.
I think she brushed the Armco a little bit, but there should be no damage to the car.
So
not even touched it, I think. So she can carry on. But of course she lost places, and that puts Silbermeyer in the position to be right behind his direct opponent for the victory, Josef Koller again.
So Laura Krahammer spins it away.
But Josef Koller has an advantage of more than 2 seconds to Georg Silbermeyer at the moment. And I think he had to take a little bit of an avoiding action there, so I guess he lost another half a second or something.
Possibly so. Now, Koller did the fastest lap last time. He's done an absolute best in the middle sector of this lap, but Verstappen just has the advantage, as you would anticipate in that GT4 car, over the course of the lap. So class leaders 1st and 2nd, and 5th, Csaba Walter, number 81, leading that Rookies Challenge. Uwe Schmidt, number 11, down to 14 at the start of this lap. Race leaders go by, and the leading gap was 1.3. It's down to 9/10 of a second, though. Koller, another fastest lap of the race, a 1:52.606. So he is still chasing after the outright leader, Thomas Verstappen here.
Yeah, and you can see that Koller is really on the move. He was quick throughout the season, but it seems like he really loves the 2nd race here, while we get another replay of the spin of Laura Krahammer.
So she turns in, rides the curb.
I think too much curb.
Yeah, and settles the car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And around it goes.
But it's not the place where you want to go off, so very lucky that she didn't hit anything. The quickest corner on the circuit.
And that drops her into 6th place as you look at Josef Koller now, up to turn 5 in the 1st sector, giving away 3/10 to the quicker car in the hands of the race leader, Thomas Verstappen. So just under 11 minutes and 25 still to go as they flick through the chicane, through the corners, the tighter, slower corners. Josef Koller's car having the advantage, and in this twisty middle section, coming back at the leader. But Silbermeyer is falling away because he's 3.6 seconds adrift of Koller now.
And we talked about it already. Csaba Walter in the Rookies car is already 4th overall, so it's just 1 spot from the podium.
Absolutely. And he's only 8/10 of a second away. There he is, look, 81, Csaba Walter, 8/10 back on Georg Silbermeyer. And Under Erdem also going nicely in 5th in the white GT4, making some progress up because he didn't qualify too well.
Yeah, I think that could be difficult for Csaba Walter to hold the position against Under Erdem. It was also in the race yesterday that Under got faster and faster the longer the race took.
So there in the background, Under Erdem coming out of turn 14, over the timing line goes 81 Csaba Walter. So the leading gap down again, 7/10 of a second. So in fairness to Josef Koller, he is not giving up. Georg Silbermeyer 3rd, and guess who's done the fastest lap of the race now? Silbermeyer. There are the race leaders, and to the eye, definitely Koller is closer to Verstappen. Look at the effort being put in. Josef Koller absolutely on the limit. He is throwing everything at this to win outright, never mind just winning his class.
And the action you see when he's working on the steering wheel, that's a nice thing of the racing series. There is no traction control, no driving aid, so it's really pure mechanical racing.
And it's also nice that you can see the driver working, because so often, even in a single seater, they're hidden by the bodywork, by the halo device. But here, the nature of the design of the car means you can see the energy and the effort being put in by the drivers. So there is Georg Silbermeyer, 3rd. fourth, Csaba Walter, and Under Erdem is getting a little bit nearer all the time. 8 3/4 minutes to go in this last race of the year in the KTM Crossbow Battle. All the rookies challenge cars run by KTM, independent teams running those in GT4 and in the elite class, and they're nice, well-presented cars. They're different, they have a quirky appearance, but it's a championship that has got good strength in numbers, hasn't it?
Absolutely. We are already working on next year's season, so for anybody who wants to join, we will have a price of only 45,000 euros for the whole season, which is 5 events, 10 races. Including insurance, so I think that's quite a good offer to get your racing career started.
And some good venues as well, because they, in the season that we're coming to the close of, have raced at Mugello, at Brno, at the Red Bull Ring, at the Nürburgring, and here at the Hungaroring. So it's a good calendar and a good way to end the season, this, by being a new venue for the Crossbow Battle. Georg Silbermeier, second lap in a row, fastest lap of the race, interestingly. So Silbermeier is closing on Josef Koller. It doesn't look as though he's going to win the class of the championship because Bombau is still circulating as a challenge is made there. Leon Vassatora on the inside of Janos Wieder at turn 1. He should get that done.
Yeah. But maybe Janos Wieder is getting back now on the way to the second corner. But I think Leon is on the better line, so he should be able to make this work.
Indeed. So Vassatora hangs on to 8th place and 3rd in the Rookies Challenge.
That's very good for him. He's actually the youngest driver in the Rookies Challenge field. He did karting before, and he did very, very good throughout the whole season with many podium spots. So that's really nice that he has a fine end to a very good season.
Definitely, definitely. So heading for a podium finish. Next target is Jan Ries, who's a little bit further up the road. The lead gap then, 0.8 of a second at the start of this lap, 6.5 minutes of the race to go.
And another fastest lap of Georg Silbermeier, the last way around.
Yeah, it's 2 laps in a row. So Silbermeier looking impressive as he tries to bring that gap down to Josef Koller. 2.8 seconds, it was 3.6. There is Silbermeier. And he's actually shaken off the challenge of Csaba Walter, hasn't he? So without thinking about defending, he can purely concentrate on the car ahead, the red elite class car of Josef Koller. But there, Silbermeier deep into turn 14, really working hard. Way up the curve, into the corner, comes over the timing line. The leaders go through, the gap 0.8, 0.9, and Silbermeier in 3rd position is 2.7 seconds back. He's lost a bit of ground on that last lap.
Best lap from Laura Kreihammer now. I think she won't be happy.
Indeed.
So,
but she's still down in 6th place, yet to catch Under Erdem for for second rather in GT4. 4th in GT4 there is Tassilo von Bayern, number 77, going through. And Uwe Schmidt's modest race now giving him 14th position, having started 6th on the grid.
Yep. I think that's really, he's really taking care of the car as it's sold already. Having a smooth season finale.
Indeed, so Uwe Schmidt, another experienced driver, 53 years of age, another graduate of the German single-seater Formula Koenig Championship way back in 1994, and has been a top 10 finisher in the championship, this championship, for the last 3 seasons, so an experienced KTM racer. Csaba Walter under attack now, look.
Yeah, it seems like Under Erdem is trying to get a move on him during the last minutes of the race, but it's still not that close, so...
In the background you see Laura Kreihammer. Now she is getting closer to Erdem, that gap 1.4 seconds. As Manfred was saying, last lap through, Laura Kreihammer's fastest lap of the race, so she is pushing hard, having spun out of that earlier 3rd position as she comes now up through turn 13. This is the climb around the back of the paddock.
And of course it's just a guest start for her, but of course she would like to make it stick and to be right at the front, so she will be very unhappy.
But she's a quick driver.
Absolutely.
So over the line goes Csaba Walter, Under Erdem, and then Laura Kreihammer, whose lap is a 52.6. She's still catching the GT4 car ahead, so it is possible that she could yet take second in class before the end.
It's very uncommon that time of the race, everything's already more or less settled. So normally we have, as yesterday, fights until the finish line. But at the moment, it seems like nobody can really attack, except maybe under Adam.
Yeah, suddenly he's arrived on the tail. Like yesterday, as you say, getting better and better and better through the race. He's on the back of Csaba Walter now. Walter will defend, and that's going to help Laura Kraimer, isn't it? Because if those two hold each other up, she'll be able to get up with those two cars.
Yeah.
This is turn 5. Csaba Walter in the less powerful Rookies Challenge car versus the GT4 entry. And a spin. That is Semenchuk.
I think it's
Niklas
Stumm. Niklas Stumm. And he did another spin after the spin yesterday. That's not his weekend.
So Niklas Stumm spins, rejoins. Down to turn 2. He was in 16th place behind Bart Semenchuk. And this is how he did it. Loses it under braking.
A little bit too long on the brakes on turning in, and then without ABS you lose the back of the car.
Koller is still trying so hard, isn't he?
Yeah, still working very hard to catch Thomas Westarp.
So Westarp leading the way. Now, he will come across the timing line with 2 minutes and 22 seconds and counting. So through he has gone. He's going to get 2 more laps, isn't he, out of the race?
Yes. 2 more laps from now on. And under Adam is at the back of Csaba Walter.
With Kraimer catching up as well, because she is lapping a fraction faster. Up the inside is Walter. Round the outside goes Adam.
And there you can see the advantage of the ABS braking at that point.
But he doesn't make it stick. He goes wide. And Csaba Walter's experience of the Hungaroring bringing him back into contention. He moves across, covers the inside line for turn 2. Erdem now tries the outside line. Can't do it. Slots back in behind. And Laura Kraimer saying, wait for me, wait for me. She's almost up with them.
Yeah.
Downhill they plunge.
There will be a spectacular finale between those 3.
Absolutely right. Csaba Walter not thinking championship, but he is thinking about the podium, thinking about a class win, but equally he wants as good a result as he can get overall. So Under Erdem is behind, and Laura Kraimer is closing up as they go into the chicane. They go through the right, through the left.
And Laura is there.
Absolutely right. So Csaba Walter there, sitting in the fresh air, looking in his mirrors, sees a little mistake come from Erdem, who is trying to fend off Kraimer as they're about to start the last lap. And interestingly, an absolute best in the last sector of the previous lap was done by Bob Bow. So we were talking earlier about how he was slow, how he had a problem, and amazingly enough, Bob Bow has just unleashed the pace of that car.
I think that was no problem. I think he just backed off and to get out of the traffic and come home safely to seal the title.
I think you're right. So he's got the job done. As you look at now the battle shifting away from Walter and Erdem to Erdem and Kraimer. The last lap underway as the leader goes through. Thomas Westarp then onto the last lap of the race now. Josef Koller runs second. Georg Silbermeier third. In fairness now, irrespective of what Bob Bow does, with Silbermeier not winning the class, he can't win the championship in the elite category anyway. But Thomas Westarp leads, and one has ground to a halt there. Is that Thomas Kokol?
Yeah, that's Thomas Kokol. Maybe he spun.
So yellow flags wave at turn 1. There is Walter, there is Erdem, there is Kraimer, so no change in the order as they come downhill. But a really good drive this by Thomas Westarp, who looks like he's heading for the win.
Yes, and you can see that he's absolutely deserved the win in the GT4 category this year. He's was really the quickest driver throughout the season.
Absolutely right. Josef Koller, though, is heading for an elite victory. Walter is heading for the Rookies Challenge win. But what about the overall position as Under Erdem and Laura Kraimer are they behind? Into turn 5 they come. Laura Kraimer this lap looking as though she's dropped back just a little as Erdem closes right up going into the chicane.
But I think he couldn't make it because there's... The first corner would be the best spot for a GT4 car to overtake a Rookie's car, but now through those flowing curves, I think he can't make it work.
And the fastest lap of the race, Bob Bow, would you believe it? So out of trouble, winning a championship, and he's done the fastest lap of the race in an elite car, never mind a GT4. But for the overall race lead, where has it gone? Vestar was 11 tenths ahead at the start of this lap, and Josef Koller is right there behind him. Is this Vestar making a race of it for the last couple of corners, or does he have a problem? He's just going to hang on, I think, on the run to the line. So Thomas Vestar is set to win the final race in the KTM crossbow battle here at the Hungaroring. Second across the line is Josef Koller. He wins the elite class. Georg Silbermeier in third, and he's second in the elite ahead of Walter fourth, Erdem fifth, and Kreimer dropping back in sixth place at the end of a really lively race. Lots happening all the way through.
Very, very good result for Csaba Walter. Wins the Rookies Challenge race and P4 overall with the Rookies car. That's really amazing. Third in Rookies class is second in Rookies class is Jan Ries, and third Leon Wasserteurer, both the youngest drivers in the field. Very good performance from them, and Mika Kallio just misses out on the podium today with fourth in Rookies Challenge class.
But if you take the fact that Csaba Walter is an experienced driver, we could pretend, couldn't we, that Mika Kallio is really third of the true rookies, and therefore he's really on the podium, and therefore he has to come back next year.
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
okay?
Yeah, that's the way I will approach the thing.
Excellent.
With him.
Try and sell it to him in that way.
Yeah.
And Bob Bow is going to come through in a moment to win the elite class. So it did look at the start of the race like he had a problem, because he was slowing rather than starting at the back or from the pit lane to keep out of trouble, but then to do the fastest lap of the race.
There he is, and that's the title for Bob Bow in the elite class. Congratulations.
Indeed so. He's just crossed the line, 17th overall,
there we have
fourth
him,
in class.
Number 45.
So the pseudonymed Bob Bow, Bob the Builder.
And there you see how he got the elbow out of the car. That's the way you do it.
Very relaxed. And there's another champion, the GT4 champion, Thomas Vestar. Excellent effort from him. He's another occasional VLN racer and Nürburgring 24-hour racer. So Thomas Vestar using all of his experience to very good effect.
Very nice race, clean race, except 2 spins, but no accidents.
Indeed. Let's look at the results. Thomas Vestar wins the last race in the KTM crossbow battle. Josef Koller taking second from Georg Silbermeier. Csaba Walter fourth in his first outing in these cars to win the Rookies Challenge ahead of Ender Erdem and Laura Kreimer sixth. Jan Ries seventh from Leon Wasserteurer. Ninth, Mika Kallio from Tassilo von Bayern. The Rookie Challenge champion, Marcel Markovics, 11th overall from Matthias Peltzmann. Uwe Schmidt, his elite car, 13th from Daniel Drexel, and Bart Simenchuk in 15th position. 16th going after a spin to Niklas Stump. 17th and a championship to Bob Bow. He is the elite champion. Nasser Al-Ali taking 18th and Clemens Drexel 19th, with Thomas Kokol and also Janosch Wieder not getting to the end. Holger Baumgartner not getting to the start. A really disappointing weekend, not taking part in either of the 2 races this weekend. So the cars make their way down the pit lane to their Parc Fermé area rather than stopping in the pit road, and it means that Thomas Vestar, Josef Koller and Georg Silbermeier can celebrate their top 3 results here. So let's have a quick look at the highlights of the final race in the KTM crossbow battle. From that rolling start, everybody blasted away, and on the outside line Josef Koller had the advantage into turn 1, but the better ABS braking of the GT4 car of Thomas Vestar put him ahead. He led as they dropped downhill for the first time. Others ran out wide, others went up the curb, and then the drama started as the race unwound, with there Matthias Peltzmann getting it wrong at turn 1. Laura Kreimer was busy battling. She got up the order at the expense of Georg Silbermeier, but then the GT4 car rode the curve at turn 4, lost rear traction, and had a big, big spin. Laura Kreimer didn't do much for the Michelin rubber on which they all run, but thankfully just kept it off the barrier and was able to rejoin, ultimately finishing in 6th position. Another spin came there from 97, Niklas Stump. He was able to rejoin as the gap came right down at the end. Thomas Vestar, the GT4 class winner, ahead of Josef Koller to win the elite category at the end of a great way to end the KTM crossbow battle season. From Manfred Wolf and David Anderson from the Hungaroring, it's goodbye.